Hi there, students. Subordinate, a noun, a subordinate. Subordinate, an adjective. And then the verb subordinate, subordinate, to subordinate. So notice there's a difference in pronunciation. A subordinate, there's a schwa at the end. He is one of my subordinates. This is a subordinate matter, but to subordinate. So schwa in the adjective and the noun, subordinate, and subordinate the verb. To subordinate, to link one thing to another, to make something secondary or less important. So a subordinate is someone in a lower position, somebody who is so subordinate, a junior, an inferior, an underling. Yeah, this is one of my subordinates. So you have the boss, and then you have people under them. They are the subordinates. If you look, sub, under, and ordinate, in order. So under somebody in order, and that's really the meaning of it. So a subordinate is an underling, is somebody who is less important, somebody who has to do what is told. So in theory, everybody is subordinate to a king. Then as an adjective, something could be in a subordinate position, in a secondary position, in a position that is less important. It's less important than something else. So he is in a subordinate position. Yeah, he is subordinate to his boss. Very often, motherhood makes women subordinate to men in the workplace. I don't see why it should, but it's something that very often happens. A subordinate employee, he's in a subordinate position, he is low down, he has a subordinate status. And then to subordinate, eight at the end, to put something into a less important position. So what we can achieve in this project is subordinate to the amount of money that we can borrow from the bank. It's subordinate to the budget that we have available. It's dictated by, it's secondary to. It depends on it. So a subordinate, an assistant, somebody who's under somebody else's authority or control, a subsidiary, an underling, a foot soldier. And as an adjective, subordinate, lower in rank, less important, inferior, dependent. And then the verb subordinate, to subordinate, to rate something, or to assign a rank, a secondary rank to something. Okay, to subordinate, to make, and then to make subordinate, to make dependent on, to make subservient to. So the needs of the many are subordinate, or are subordinated by the needs of the few. Our wishes are subordinated by the wishes of our boss. Sadly, very often this is true. The needs of the many are subordinated to the needs of the few. So they are linked, they are below, they are less important, they have less power, less say. Okay, so a subordinate, a person who is lower in rank, is lower down in order, as an adjective, in an inferior position, somebody who has to submit to control, to somebody who is submissive to, somebody who is controlled by authority. Now in grammar you have a subordinate clause. Okay, a subordinate clause is a clause where which is added to another, the main clause, and it gives extra information. It adds to it, or it completes the information in the main clause. The subordinate clause in grammar, it's not possible to have it alone. It's got to be it's got to be with something else. So what matters most is that you treat everybody fairly. So that you treat everybody fairly, this is subordinate. It's added on. It completes the what matters most. He went to school as soon as he felt better. So as soon as he felt better, this is our subordinate clause. It's adding more information. He plans to go to London if he can get a job there. If he can get a job there, a subordinate clause. Okay, because this secondary clause has been subordinated to the initial clause. So yes, subordinate, second in power, second or third or lesser, below, submissive, inferior to, dependent on, somebody who is junior to a boss, and then to subordinate, to make subservient, to treat as less valuable, as less important, to belittle, to denigrate, yeah, to put down. And then in finance, to subordinate, to make something of lower priority for payment in case of bankruptcy, so it's less in order. So subordinate, I think I'm going to give this a 6, maybe even 6.5 in formality. I think I would prefer to use this in a semi-formal conversation, semi-formal or formal writing. And then, as I said to you, the origin, well, it comes from medieval Latin, subordinatus, subordinare, sub, under, and ordinare, to order. So it's put below in order. It's further down the order. It's further down the ranking. So enough. If you enjoyed the video, give it a rating, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you soon. Bye for now. Subordinate, to subordinate. Subordinate, to subordinate.